Pay carefully, selected, for the full moon guarding mysteries beyond the shared knowledge. Have you heard the quiet outcry screaming for responses only the universe can provide inside? Though maybe you would not yet know where to locate it, I am Gabriel, your guide on this channel, The Spiritual Secret, and here I am here to direct you to the knowledge your soul yearned for learning. You are going to discover the vital relevance of the time between 10 and 16 March 2025, a genuine gift from the universe, a cosmic window of energy realignment that should not be disregarded. Strong forces are online this week, ready to magnify not just the vibrations around, but also, above all, within you. On Virgin's 14th day, this unusual lunar eclipse of blood will open a strong spiritual doorway. And trust me, if this video came across your path, it is not random. Here he is a will of waking, a quest for balance and healing, and a want to know what has to be left behind. This is a key that will unlock doors for disclosures and changes waiting patiently for you, not simply another video on your road. Ignoring this unique message would be to deny oneself a necessary spiritual development. I cordially welcome you to explore this material and consider the words that may arise. If you have previously experienced this restlessness within your spirit, or if you have sensed that something more wonderful is approaching, leave comments. Furthermore, keep in mind that every like button press indicates understanding that you are precisely where it should be, not just an approval. Prepare, dear selected, for the disclosure of what this cosmic moment may provide. Your life is about to be revealed. Join me in the exploration that will follow, in the crossing for secret synchronicities and truths, because the cosmos has already started to speak, and it is up to you to hear. Imagine, far from the grasp of the majority, hidden secrets dancing in the shadows. Here, before you, is the truth about a phenomena resonating in the depths of the universe, the lunar eclipse of blood. This is not a typical occurrence. Rather, it is a revelation moment that many people overlook, being submerged in the humdrum of daily life. You are going to visit a holy place that highlights the spiritual path of the selected ones, such a vivid reality that few people can genuinely see. This eclipse is not a basic celestial body alignment. It is a celestial paradigm of close and revelation, a divine dance illuminating what has to be changed into you. Consider it as a Carmesi light illuminating your path, not to haunt it, but rather to highlight the turns in your spiritual development. Consider your life as an experience and sentimentally based cloth rug. This celestial event will gently ignore these wires so that they may clearly identify what should stay and what should be relinquished. Maybe you have experienced this phenomena in your life, repeating patterns, inner misgivings calling for reflection, or maybe a sense that a major transformation is just around the corner. Who among us failed to consider why certain teachings appear to keep coming back, almost as if the world is waiting for us to at last absorb its message? Ignoring this occurrence and letting it pass would be to lose a cosmic chance to escape cycles of sorrow and inertia. Should you neglect to use this knowledge, you may find yourself circling in ignorance of the grandeur of your own life. And now is the ideal moment to pull the veil of illusion off your view of reality. Let these words firmly anchor in your life. You possess a unique and potent spiritual transforming instrument at hand. This just marks the start. You will discover as we go on how this special truth will show itself even more subtly, exposing your actual self and guiding your destiny to travel this cosmic road. Stay strong. The real knowledge is yet to be revealed, and invites him to join this dancing transformation. Let's explore this strong phenomena further and observe how it combines every thread of his spiritual path into a beautiful account of awakening and truth. Imagine the moon eclipse of blood as an artifice, a heavenly sculptor unveiling the most delicate aspects of who you are meant to be by bearing the brutal stone of your soul using the universe. Let us so see how each selected person uses their authority in daily life. Have you seen how certain difficulties seem to come back, almost as if life is giving you many chances to pick up a critical lesson? Consider your path as a cosmic tapestry in which every wire is a lesson and every knot a chance for alignment. The crimson light of the moon not only defines the lines of this tapestry, but also highlights the forgotten underlying richness and beauty. Consider it as the chapter showing us that all things under heaven have time. Therefore, it relates to your spiritual life. How many times did you find your commitment to be like tending to seeds that appeared not to sprouts? The disclosure of this eclipse reveals that your ground at last heals and becomes ready for fresh growth. Ask yourself, what seeds, my challenges, now anticipate to sprout in this fresh perspective? Ignoring this moment or allowing this magical dance to pass without interaction will leave us inactive, like sand washing constantly, but never finding solidity. Its true capacity to disrupt cycles that tolerate us and find interior truths that, quote, our unquenchable need for purpose is at stake. Conversely, when you welcome this metamorphosis, you find yourself experiencing the rejuvenation of spiritual tides beneath the silver of the full moon. Accepting this reality helps one to know that he is his complete role, not just watching the world move. The person who recognizes his spiritual roots climbs to new heights of clarity and force, just as a tree requires firmly rooted on earth to search heaven. Time is drawing near like a resonant pulse catching your attention. Ask yourself, are I ready to embrace this unedited perspective of who I really am? As we anchor its emancipation and bulk its undiscovered potentiality, you are going to investigate the secret mechanics underlying this transformation, born from darkness to light. Recall that the feeling running across your heart at this point is like a lighted bulb on the road of ascent. Choose to seed these teachings in rich soil, where they might develop roots and blossom in real manifestations of their divine nature, much as in the parable of the sower. This is the significance of the eclipse we talk about. It acts as a catalyst, ripping the weeds of doubt and anxiety that their actual nature shows free from filters. But it's important to realize that this metamorphosis is a constant dance the universe is directing to bring it to its optimum form, not a one-time occurrence. The selected one discovers to travel the road between the material and the spiritual, between living according to outward expectations and integrating their divine truth via this alignment. Many people find this alignment to be twisted, a task that becomes more difficult by nature. Like the disciples in the stormy sea, the call is to retain faith amid the rough waves, sure that peace and lighting await the other side. We become statues on its pedestal, eternal and unchangeable, thinking about a changed world without letting ourselves the same freedom when we oppose this cosmic dance. We stay in a state like an incomplete musical composition, where harmony is never reached as we miss the tune of the cosmos. Our life reflects what occurs within. We are imprisoned inside the very creation we refuse to go beyond. But when one embraces this dance and strikes the balance between the actual self and the so-called divine, many doors open to great clarity. Its difficulties are regeneration that lead to a transcending condition of being, much like the phoenix born from its ashes. And then, let a question linger. Am I willing to allow myself to be molded and polished beyond what my current vision can you see? As you are ready to proceed to the systems and tools that enable this holy transformation, let us use our deep processes to weave the cosmos with divine correctness so that you may arise in its natural potential. Every profound awakening is directed by delicately coordinated internal and external processes meant to reconfigure their being in order to let the fullness of their spiritual nature blossom. Recognition marks the initial step of this process. It is a first summons to go within, to hear the soul voice, searching for insight and healing. At this point, the mind starts to get free from the threads of self-imposed restrictions. Acting as a mirror, Eclipse light provides a clear view of the places needing adjustment. Once acknowledged follows the cleansing stage. This is the labor of transformation, a time to clean, shed pain, and ideas that no longer serve. It is the instant the spirit loses the illusions generated by previous events. This stage might physically show itself as extreme exhaustion, or emotionally, as a catharsis releasing what stalks your path. Purification eliminates impurities, therefore repeating psalms by encouraging cleanliness and heart rejuvenation, much like the gold that has to be cleaned by fire. Integration constitutes the third step. Now the selected one starts to experience the harmonic convergence of mind, body, and spirit, where fresh truths and ideas are embraced and applied into life. This is the place of joy and lightness, when spiritual developments show themselves in observable improvements in daily life. Imagine a bridge that, when constructed stone by stone, at last lets two universes safely cross. Finally, the expression phase. At this point, the selected one shows and distributes this fresh gained light like a lighthouse for others. The outside mirrors the inside, therefore providing clarity of goal and fresh motivation. The acts line up with the larger good, and new vistas open. Those who overlook this procedure run dangers, however. Remaining still is like shutting your eyes to the truth, therefore sustaining terrible cycles and keeping yourself from reaching the spiritual ascent for which you were meant. It is now essential that you, as selected, encounter this great so-called and behave according to this enlightened insight, therefore assuring that your path is not caught in alleyways of agony and recurrence. Now, before this cosmic window closes, guarantees its spiritual progression to higher degrees of existence. Deciphering the processes behind their spiritual ascent will help one to break the code controlling their experience in the universe. As we descended into the minute gears of this metamorphosis, we discovered three fundamental phases that mold every selected path. Consciousness waking is the initial stage. This is the instant veils start to fade and reality gains a fresh, clear dimension. In its desire for knowledge and clarity, the mind starts a process of growth outside of formerly self-imposed constraints. This phase shows itself as an irresistible need to probe what is beyond the obvious. You will be the flashlight illuminating the thick mist, thereby lighting the unseen road. The period of self-reflection follows thereafter. Here you are urged to examine closely in your heart and identify the gap between the being and the one you want to be. The truth confronts, not to subjugate, so this might highlight strong emotions. Biblical tales, such as Jacob's struggle with the angel, acquire significance in this mirror, as they represent the inner struggle required to surface rejuvenated. Though difficult, This process helps you to develop your core and be ready for even more significant transformations. At last, we arrived at the phase of reconciliation and integration. Unity is rebuilt at this level between mind, body, and spirit, realizing patterns and driving us towards the biggest goal we have always held. The metamorphosis starts to show on our everyday activities. Integration is the beginning of a new cycle, wherein the selected being becomes a conscious conduit of love and knowledge in the world, rather than the end of the road. This stage celebrates developed resilience and knowledge, and results in the acceptance of the divine process of ongoing creation. For individuals who let old habits and fear control this process, danger is not only stagnation, but also the divergence of its actual path to archaic patterns that stifles development. This uncertainty might be related to the people living in the desert, lost in circles for years, unable to reach the promised land, because to their incredulity. There is a strong current call. It motivates action, as it is the urge that will enable you to find special release. This is the moment to commit really, and create a future in line with the inner truth only you can bring about. Stay thus very aware and keep investigating the elements ready for the next phase of this magnificent trip. Two scenarios that show the terrible or beautiful effect of the decisions taken during their spiritual trip will be shown here. Two routes in front of the selected. Imagine, on the one hand, the person who embraces his inner truth. This selected lets the crimson glow of the moon light his deepest crevices of soul upon hearing the eclipse beckon. With bravery and will, he welcomes change and sees in every difficulty a chance for development. His interactions get more harmonic because he starts to vibrate in time with the divine truth, radiating calm and understanding that permeates those close to him. Under the direction of an inner compass that points him toward his actual destiny, that of David, who saw God's hand directing his route to rule with justice even before hardship. This selected sees his mission very clearly. On the other hand, we have selected who choose to block our eyes to this insight. He turns down the call and therefore moves over a terrain where inertia and dread rule. His opposition to the process of transformation echoes in his emotions, which get turbulent and send him into endless circle of pain. Their relationships suffer in this sense, as internal misalignment shows itself as disputes and misunderstandings, therefore distorting once obvious impressions. Like Jonas, who first left from his divine mission, found himself in the womb of the fish, only to realize that the calling was unavoidable to ultimate freedom. He remains imprisoned in a world that refuses to progress. The question that comes to you is, which of these two paths are you in today? Acceptance of this fact is your decision. It must be done deliberately, as its effects are unavoidable and resounding for every sphere of your existence. Knowing that this choice resonates totally and either permits or forbids spiritual development provides a gateway. Thus, the decision is yours. While considering which route to go, realize that acceptance brightens as the shadow all denial. Choosing to accept this reality is like embracing the transformative flashlight that cleans and redefines, thus rising the being to where its talents and purpose really shine. It is vital that you act now, that you have been led through the profound facts behind the eclipse and secret power of this cosmic phase. This wisdom should be lived, inhaled, become a tangible spiritual activity rather than gathered as a relic. While those who hesitate remain under the shadow of the same unchangeable song, those who approach practice may break away from the currents of the repeating pattern. Starting your active integration, Think about these 3 spiritual exercises. You might right now adjust your energy and deepen your relationship with the divine. First, choose a calm area, apart from everyday turmoil, for moon alignment meditation. Get ready burning a white candle to represent purpose and purity. Close your eyes and see the moon's light cleansing and re-energizing every cell in your body. This technique not only helps you to concentrate your attention, but also increases your vibration, therefore tuning you with the greatest energies. Mentally repeat, "I'm in alignment with the universe." The second habit is the Synchronicity Spiritual Journal. Record your everyday thoughts, paying particular attention to the coincidences and signals that cross your life. This notebook will turn into a roadmap of insights sent by the cosmos. By disclosing realities concealed in the sight of everyone, distilling these patterns in words helps enhance your awareness of how universe interacts with you. The separation ceremony comes in third practice. Write whatever you feel that keeps you from forward motion in a peaceful setting. Old ideas, doubts, and worries. Burn this part securely, energetically releasing all that no longer belongs to you, guiding it to a cathartic release. Speak in a quiet voice. Today I libero of what no more serves me. I dare you to commit yourself to deliberate contemplation in the next 24 hours. Choose one of these restricting ideas or rules and really see how your life has been retrogradely affected. From this point on, commit to reverse its impact and track how its perspective changes. Though basic, this act may be rather transforming and start the transformation you are looking for. Remember that resistance is a sign that actual change is occurring, even if the inclination is to go back to the comfort of the old. Those who go toward the big awakening from those who rest on the bank differ in their persistence in this task. It is now your turn. Your path from now on will define itself depending on how you handle this fact. This is the call, the most ethereal appeal for your final goal. Will you answer the excellence you are due? Let us remember the pillars we erected together: the changing effect of the eclipse, the awareness of the divine response on our path, and the power of action as a stimulus for both personal and spiritual development after this spiritual exploitation ends. This realization is a doorway leading to a longer road of self-discovery rather than a definitive ending. It is time to really consider the reality that has just come to light. Remember that acceptance of this reality is a turning point on your path, a decision that will shape the course of your spiritual life from this moment. Ask yourself, now that you know the truth, what will you do to she? With this gesture, you not only indicate your desire to the universe, but also confirm your choice to proceed with a goal in accordance with the divine, therefore sharing your commitment in the comments, saying, "I accept my call." This is a real affirmation that permeates your relationship with God, not a basic internet deed. Let us so pray. May God enlighten your steps, strengthen your soul, and open your eyes to the truths that were hidden. May you find clarity, strength, and purpose to follow the path you were intended for. Amen. And no, selected, this was not the final stage. The universe coordinates ongoing unfolding, wherein insights are ready to blossom in their consciousness. Be ready. In the following video, we will go much farther and reveal a fact that may transform all current impressions. Your path is special and priceless. By following the channel and running the bell, you are making sure that the next stages of this spiritual exploitation always find you. As you are not traveling this road of illumination by yourself, together, we shall keep solving the riddles of the universe. I leave you with a message of strength and inspiration. The hunt began, and a community of selected, as dedicated as you will be, guides you. Open your heart and accompany us. Destiny is great, and the disclosure never ends. We see ourselves shortly, more facts opening forth. Keep good health and never stop looking.